Welcome back to Royal Chronicles, the channel where history meets royalty, and every jewel tells a story. If you're new here, we are so glad you found us. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a royal moment. And trust me, you do not want to miss what we're talking about today. What if I told you that the jewels Queen Camilla wore to a recent state banquet have a history so rich, so deeply woven into the fabric of the British monarchy, that some of them have graced the necks and ears of queens for over a century? What if one of those pieces was last worn by a woman whose name still echoes through the halls of Buckingham Palace, a woman who shaped what it means to be a royal consort? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will look at royal jewelry in an entirely different way. This isn't just about diamonds and pearls. This is about power, legacy, and the silent language of the crown. The setting was nothing short of spectacular. A grand state banquet, the kind that only happens a handful of times a year, held at Buckingham Palace, where crystal chandeliers throw golden light across tables dressed in the finest linen, and every guest is acutely aware that they are standing inside living history. And then she entered. Queen Camilla, radiant and composed, dressed to perfection. But it wasn't just her gown that stopped the room. It was what she was wearing around her neck, in her ears, and resting upon her head that made royal watchers, historians, and jewelry experts lean forward and whisper, "Do you know what that is?" Let's talk about the pieces themselves, because each one deserves its own moment in the spotlight. Queen Camilla chose a tiara steeped in royal lineage. Tiaras are not simply accessories in the world of royalty. They are declarations. They say, "I am here. I represent the crown. I carry what came before me." The tiara Camilla wore has a provenance that stretches back generations, previously worn by queens and senior royals at some of the most significant diplomatic gatherings in modern British history. When she placed it on her head that evening, she wasn't just getting dressed, she was picking up a thread of history and continuing it. Here's where it gets truly fascinating. The necklace Camilla chose is one of those pieces that jewelry historians get genuinely emotional about. It features stones of extraordinary quality, set in a style that reflects a specific era of royal taste, an era when British monarchs were at the height of their global influence. This piece has been photographed on royal women in black and white portraits, in oil paintings, in grainy newspaper photographs from decades past. And there it was, alive, sparkling, around the neck of a modern queen at a 21st century banquet. The continuity is almost breathtaking. Never underestimate the earrings. Royals are very deliberate about their ear jewelry, particularly at state events. Camilla's choice that evening was elegant and perfectly proportioned pieces that complemented rather than competed with the necklace and tiara. In the world of royal dressing, that kind of restraint is actually a sign of great sophistication. It says, "I understand exactly what I'm doing." Now, some of you might be wondering, why does this matter? They're just jewels, right? Wrong. And here's why. In royal life, particularly at state banquets where heads of state, ambassadors, and world leaders are present, everything is a message. The clothes, the seating, the flowers on the table, all of it is chosen with intention. And the jewelry might be the most deliberate choice of all. When Queen Camilla wears historic royal jewels, she is doing something deeply significant. She is signaling continuity. She is saying to every person in that room, and to every person watching around the world, the monarchy endures. The traditions hold. We honor what came before us. There is also something profoundly personal in these choices. Camilla has, over the years, developed a reputation for being a thoughtful and careful custodian of royal jewelry. She doesn't wear pieces carelessly. She wears them with purpose, and those who follow the royal family closely have noticed and appreciated that. State banquets are, at their core, diplomatic theater. They are designed to impress, to honor, and to forge or strengthen bonds between nations. The monarch and their consort are the centerpiece of that theater. Every detail of their appearance is scrutinized by guests, by the press, by historians, and by the public. Queen Camilla, in choosing historic royal jewelry for this occasion, elevated that theater. She brought depth to the evening. She brought story. And in doing so, she reminded the world that the British crown is not just an institution of the present, it is a living archive of centuries past. That is no small thing. And that, Royal Chronicles family, is why a state banquet is never just a dinner and a piece of jewelry is never just a jewel. Every stone has a story. Every setting holds a memory. And Queen Camilla, on that glittering evening, wore history itself. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel grow and reach more royal history lovers just like you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which royal jewel do you find most fascinating? I read every single one. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Royal Chronicles and join our ever-growing community of people who believe that royal history is one of the greatest stories ever told. Until next time, stay curious, stay royal, and we'll see you in the next one.